Ain't got the world, but you got those hands.
Hello everybody and welcome to Check Tech. Why am I wearing a mask? Because this product is of Redmi and it's from China. Okay, jokes aside, this is the Redmi Note 9 and I'm about to say that it is the best phone you can find for under 15,000 rupees. Here's why. So when you're looking under a budget of 15,000 rupees, you have very less options, and within those options you'll have options like the Galaxy M21s, you'll have options like the Galaxy M11, you'll have a lot of options from Redmi, less options from Vivo or Oppo, and you'll not really have the bigger brands out there. So this is a very small market. In US terms, under $200, and this is a global phone, so we're going to be comparing that way too. So why am I saying that this is the best phone? First of all, let's see why. This is Redmi's phone. This is Redmi Note 9, 4 gigs of RAM with 128 gigs of storage. Great option. No 6 gig option, but you have to pay extra for that, and that comes up to more than 15,000 rupees. So this is the base end model of the line, just above the 3 gig plus 64 gig model that costs a little bit lesser, but it comes with the same specs. So it's the Redmi Note 9, the Note 9 Pro and the Note 9 Pro Max. This is the base end. So why is this a really good phone for you to buy? Number one reason, it comes with a Helio G85 processor by MediaTek, which can be compared to a Snapdragon 845 from 2 years ago. So it's a mid-range processor, good for gaming, good for normal work, but if you try to push it like an Asus ROG, this phone won't deliver. That you won't get. So what you get on the display? Here what you're getting is an IPS LCD display, 6.53 inches with a hole punch 13 megapixel selfie camera. So this is an LCD, not an OLED, so viewing angles suffer a lot. By a lot, I mean a lot. I mean, looking at the phone from here, it looks so bad when you look at it from here instead of here. But it does get quite bright, up to 450 nits, so that's a good thing. Another thing is that on this phone you get MIUI 12, and oh, MIUI 12 is so good. Like MIUI 11, MIUI 10 was like a very heavy skin, but when you use MIUI 12, you absolutely love it. Here's why. Here if you look, you've got lots of new animations. When you open this, it opens up like this. When you pull down from the right, you get control center. When you pull down from the left, you get your notifications. Apple might put a copyright claim. Apart from that, you get a totally revamped MIUI, which is a skin running on top of Android 10, and I hope we'll get Android 11, but this does come with Android 10 right out of the box, which many phones don't get yet, and I don't know why that is. And again, this phone has 128 gigs of storage. Great, but there's another thing. There's a micro SD card, so you can put more space. Great. Another thing, this gets dual SIM support. Great. I really don't like the fact that nowadays phones are just putting away the SIM card slot, putting away one SIM card slot, or throwing away the micro SD, just like OnePlus Nord. You know why they're doing it? Because they want you to get the top spec model with 256 gigs of storage and 12 gigs of RAM. You know what I'm talking about. So this is a great thing done by Redmi. Now coming on to the camera array. This has a 48 megapixel main shooter, and these are 4 cameras. Although they're not really 4. If you look, there's a 48 megapixel main shooter with a f1.6 aperture, and then you get a wide angle shooter with a f2.2 aperture. The wide angle goes up to 118 degrees, and the 48 megapixel shooter is quite good too. You can take 4K video at 30 fps and in movie frames too. There's a lot of options that you can take here. Let's look at the settings. If you go into the settings, you'll see a lot of new animations. If I click on storage, and storage appears within some time because of the processor, it'll show it in this way, like a beautiful little water stabilization, and it shows these animations in such a beautiful bar graph. That's what I really like. These little things matter a lot, and at this price you're getting so much mobile for your money. So Another thing, this comes with an 18-watt fast charging, and the fast charger is in the box. That's amazing. A $200 phone gets fast charging 18 watts, that too with a power brick in the box. But I heard that a $1,000 phone doesn't get fast charging with the brick in the box. I don't know which brand that is, but so of course you get a USB-C here for faster charging. We've got the headphone jack. Hats off to Redmi, because the headphone jack is not something you can leave so easily. If you see all the studio headphones, the ones that Philips or Sony makes, they all have 3.5mm jacks that you can connect. And another thing is that these don't consume much battery, and coming on to the 3.5mm jack, it consumes lesser battery than Bluetooth. Coming on to battery, this has a massive 5020 mAh battery paired with 18-watt fast charging. It can charge up to 100 in less than an hour. That's right, less than an hour. And that's one of the best features, fast charging with a big battery. And oh, but some of the things I didn't like. This back is not glass. It's a plasticky thingy which feels cheapy, as I must say, according to Austin Evans. Whereas last year's Redmi Note 8, which I myself daily for a few months, had a glass back panel which felt so much more premium. That was a great thing to have, and I really miss it. Of course, you get your fingerprint sensor over here, not a side mounted one or not an in-display one. Better one to have this than an in-display one, because that's an optical fingerprint sensor and this is a proper fingerprint sensor. So why should you buy this phone? It's cheap, it's good for processing, it's a good phone, you've got lots of storage, you've got lots of RAM, you can upgrade it, you've got lots of upgradability, and again this has fast charging, it's cheap mostly, and you have to consider what you're getting for this price. I mean, I'll be showing a couple of shots here. Here you can see these are really good shots taken on the Redmi Note 9. And if you compare this to any phone, like even 3,000 or 4,000 more than this, you can find they're quite near. And at this price, comparing to the features that you're getting, I think it's a very value for money phone. It's got lots of features, more than what you get at this budget. 4 gigs of RAM sounds less, but that's what you get even on an iPhone 12 mini. And 4 gigs of RAM works wonders on this processor with such a big display, a great camera, and so many features. This is a phone that you shouldn't miss, and this is a phone that you should buy. So here you can see I'm in the camera mode. You've got an AI shooter, then you've got Google Lens inbuilt in this. You've got high dynamic range. I'm just going to stop that for now. You've got a lot of options here. You've got your usual timer. You can take it in 9:16 or full or even 1:1. You've even got a movie frame options to make it look more cinematic. Grid lines. You've got a straightening option that shows when your photo is straight or not, just like this. It's these little features that matter a lot. You've got your macro option, tilt shift, and pro color, which just makes it a little bit more vibrant and brings in more ISO. Also, there is a pro mode with which you can shoot using the 48 megapixel shooter, and then you can get these to blur. You've got the auto ISO, you've got your lens with the ultra wide or the macro, and in fact here in the ultra wide you can see it kind of looks like the NetHack feature in Watch Dogs 2. So here we have the photos of the Redmi Note 9 and the Redmi Note 8, the previous generation. So here you can see on the left we have the Redmi Note 9 and on the right we have the Redmi Note 8. So on the Redmi Note 9 you can see that the sensor captures the correct lights and keeps them to its warm white light, which is in real life, whereas the sensor on the Redmi Note 9 captures the light and makes it white artificially, thus keeping out the real photo and making it more artificial and fake looking. And you can also see that the details captured are more in the Redmi Note 9 sensor, and this shows high level of detailing improvement, and also the color ranges and the RGBs are better in the Note 9 compared to the Note 8. These are the night mode photos of both the cameras. On the left we have the Redmi Note 9 and on the right we have the Redmi Note 8, the previous generation. So here you can see it very clearly that the newer sensor of the Redmi Note 9 captures more light and the older sensor captures way less light. But one thing that I would say is that the focusing on the newer sensor is much faster and it focuses on the far objects during night mode, which is something that I would like a lot, but here in this case we're looking at a closer subject. So what the Redmi Note 8 has done, what the 9 couldn't do, is that the Redmi Note 8 focused on what is the subject, what's supposed to be using the AI properly, but the Redmi Note 9 could not do that because in its night mode people usually capture far objects in dark. So here it was using the original thing for the night mode, but I used it in a different way. But we can see that the improvement has been quite good.